Today we're going to talk about the AGL SSJ3 Trunks, and I feel as if though this guy not getting his awakening for essentially almost 2 years is a bit weird, because he comes out in November of 2017 and then he gets his awakening in June of 2019. It's just, I don't know, it's a little weird to me, because typically they like to release these Dragon Ball Heroes SSRs as like a regular SSR and they wait a whole year to awaken him. I really hate that concept and wish Dokkan would just completely eradicate that immediately. Now, this guy's best linking partner, of course, post awakening, is this guy. And obviously he follows the Dragon Ball Heroes Awakening scheduling, where he gets an awakening a full year later, because he comes out in November of 2018 and he gets his awakening in November of 2019. Yes, he does. And of course that is his best single partner, and they share essentially everything but prodigies. That's 10% attack, well 15% attack, because of course the 5% attack right over here, 7 key, and of course the defensive debuff, which is obviously completely garbage. But I mean, the 7 key is cool for an auto super, but other than that, it's not really getting much from him at link level 1. And as you guys already know, at the time when these two are out together and ran a rotation to, of course, get this guy's links all active, there was no link leveling, so pretty much it was pish posh. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not talking about him post EZA, I'm clearly only talking about him pre EZA. Does guy have an EZA? Yes, he does, and it comes out in 2022. But we're not going to talk about this guy at all. We're going to keep a focus on this guy. Now, this guy, when he had first came out in November of 2017, I feel as if though this guy was a pretty solid option for in Super Saiyan 3 Bardock's Super Saiyan 3 team. I mean, hey, the reason why I say that is because he is a defensive option on Super Saiyan 3. Even though Super Saiyan 3 was meant for offense, when Super Saiyan 3 does get a Super Battle Road stage, this guy becomes a very interesting option to run, because he still is a multi-turn defensive stacker that has an attack defensive buff at the start of turn, that being 60% attack and defense with a 50% chance to guard. And what's so surprising about this AGL Super Saiyan 3 Trunks is the fact that they decided to keep his 50% chance to guard from his SSR all the way to his awakening, then to his EZA. Why didn't they just make this like a 70% chance to guard? I don't understand it. It's weird. It's a little weird to me. But going back on over to this Trunks, he becomes a very interesting option when Super Saiyan 3 does get a Battle Road stage. But the only thing is about Super Saiyan 3 getting a Battle Road stage is that that shit does not come out till like, what, 2019? Does it come out in 2019? Let me go ahead and double check that. Because Super Saiyan 3 is a stage that is inside the 21 to 30 column of Battle Road. And I just want to take JP for reference. Yeah, 2019 is correct. Yeah, 2019, they don't get a Super Saiyan 3 stage. But the thing is, and the point is that this guy is a super interesting option for Super Saiyan 3. Because, of course, Super Saiyan 3, around this time, still a pretty alright category, but of course more categories have come out and are starting to come out that push this team off to the side just a tad bit for other teams to take the limelight. Now, going back on over to his SSR, I would say that during 2017, at the time, you wouldn't really want to run this guy in Super Saiyan 3 because he was just defense, and of course 2017 being a meta where offense is key, it's particularly the reason why you wouldn't really want to run him. But if you want to counteract my statement, technically Battle Road is out in October of 2017, and you can go ahead and run this guy on the Mono AGL team because he still can be ran as a defensive option on there. And some may argue that defense is just as important as offense back in 2017, but the thing is that back in 2017 when Battle Road first premieres, guys, there were strategies, and there was a lot of strategies involving items to nuke these bosses and completely blitz these stages. So you can also make the case to me that this guy was pretty much a dead option on a nuking team. But hey, that's why I say that Battle Road had some of the most creative team building I've ever seen in a meta, other than, like, of course, Extreme Super Battle, because clearly they both coincide with each other. They're both Battle Road, right? You guys get exactly what I'm trying to say. The Battle Road, Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, same goddamn thing, just one has a harder difficulty than the other. And of course, I'm pretty sure that Extreme Super Battle Road has 8 items still, pretty much, right? Yeah, Extreme Super Battle Road still has 8 items, right? It says it on the wiki page, let me see. Let me just go down here. Does it show it? It does. It does show, but I just don't know where exactly is the info. Blah blah blah, randomized. It doesn't say the specific amount of items you can hold. So yeah, it's pretty much 8 items. Yeah, this is all the missions, previews. Yeah, it's 8 items. So pretty much 8 items. It's like, come on now. So the strategies were superbly interesting. So going back on over to, let me just go ahead and close all this out. Going back on over to this Trunks, the SSR, it's an interesting factor in where are you running him for defense and battle road at the time, or are you going to go ahead and throw him on the Super Saiyan 3 team for Bardock at the time? Which you're not going to throw him on the Super Saiyan 3 team for Bardock because his attack stats complete doo-doo, and you're probably not going to run him for the Mono AGL team, the Super AGL team, that being, because you'd be running a nuking strategy, or if you wanted to be safe, you run a defensive strategy. The only people that were probably running him in a vacuum were the people who didn't have enough options for AGL, or they just wanted to be safe and run a defensive type build for AGL. So let's go on over to his Awakening that comes out in June of 2019. And not much changes besides his attack and defensive buff at the start of turn. Does he disable guard still? Yeah, he still does. Not much changes besides his leader skill. His super attack effect goes from 6 turns to 9 turns, and his start of turn attack and defensive buff. So, I mean, this guy does get his Awakening during the legendary Goku event meta, and it makes him a good option to be ran in there because this guy is a multi-turn defensive stacker that starts out with an attack and defensive buff with a coin flip guard chance. Not much to be said there. This guy's attack stat is complete, just bad. It's not good at all. So let's go ahead and push on over to the God event meta where we can look at something a little bit more interesting about this guy. Now, I am not a fan about how they went about this guy's EZA in 2021 because all they really did was give this guy attack. That's it. That's particularly about it. Because, of course, they give him a better leader skill, technically, 3 key and 100% of the stats AGL. They give him 30% attack and defense. Well, he already had defense for 9 turns, but they give him 30% attack along with his defense for 9 turns, which is cool, I guess. He starts out with basically 20% more attack and defense, so he's at 120% attack and defense start turn. Still has his whack-ass disables enemies guard, as well as the 50% chance to guard too, as well as this guy gaining 30% attack when his guard is activating, building up attack each time he takes an attack, and building up attack each time he performs an attack. I'm not a fan of how they went about this guy. Why didn't they give him a 70% chance to guard? I don't get it. They could have gave him a 70% chance to guard. They could have gave him more defense when his guard is activated. They could have gave him more defense when he built up. Hell, this could have been 30% damage reduction when his guard is activated for like a certain amount of turns. Why not? This EZA, this shit is not creative. Look at it. All he did was slap attack onto his EZA and call it a day. Joe in the office did not feel like making this guy good. Listen, Joe, all you did was take this guy's EZA palette for his pre-EZA. You're like, okay, you know what he needs? You know what a defensive unit needs? He needs attack. No, this guy does not need attack. He is a defensive unit. Why are you giving a defensive unit attack? Joe in the office at Bandai said no, give the fucker more attack. Clocked out and called it a day. Beeline straight home. That was it. That was all. And this is what we're left with today. So let's see how many 200% leader skills this guy is on. So AGL SSJ 3 Trunks is only on 6 200% leader skills. I'm not gonna act like that's bad. Obviously that's good. His 6 200% leader skills is the STR Hearts 200% leader skill to Dragon Ball Heroes, Time Travelers, and Crossover. The 200% leader skill from Shala Kid Gohan, of course, Bond and Master Disciple. The 200% leader skill from Battle of Wits from the Hachiyak Special Goku. The 200% leader skill for Power Awakening Piccolo, that being Battle of Wits and Bond and Master Disciple. As well as both the 200% leader skills for both the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Crossover and the Dragon Ball Heroes leader skills for both these cards. So what is good about this guy is that he is a multi-turn defensive stacker that starts out with attack and defensive buff that has guard chance. Pre-EZA, of course. I feel like he's okay pre-EZA. Completely fine. A good legendary Goku event meta unit. And what is good about him post-EZA is that, I mean, he does gain attack and defense multiple turns, which is cool, I guess. They start him out with more of an attack and defensive buff, and that's it. That's all. What is bad about this guy? I'm not talking about anything bad about this guy inside his pre-EZA, because I feel as though it's not particularly fair to judge him, because they hit the nail on the head with his post-awakening. But the problem is, for his post-EZA, is that they decide to give him attack. No, you do not take a unit who has a defensive-minded pre-EZA palette. This is a defensive-minded pre-EZA palette that someone in the office decided to turn like a pseudo-offensive, defensive type of deal. Like, no, this unit is not hitting hard. It's no. You don't want your defensive units hitting hard, because we have millions, damn near millions of fucking units in the game that hit hard anyways. Keep our defensive units the way they are. I think I'm going to leave off on that note. I mean, another thing that's good about him is that he does have 6 to 100% leader skills, but do your 6 to 100% leader skills matter when your EZA is looking like this? No. And the only real thing that is going to help this guy in like any sort of meta content is him guarding. He has a coin flip guard chance. You know how that goes. And guess who else has a coin flip guard chance? 23rd World Tournament Goku, but he completely shits on this guy any day of the week. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. I'll catch you guys next week, and I love you all. Peace.